Danelle Pinnock faced her own battle with systemic lupus erythematosus. Did I get it right? Yes. While her husband, Raul, fought stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She joins us now with their story of resilience during that challenging time, all while raising 2 children. Wow. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
They usually say ladies first, but I'm going to start with you, Raul, because you are now cancer-free.
Praise God, yes.
Tell me your journey.
Well, I mean, in terms of cancer, I was 25 years old, right? I just happened to have a health fair at work at the time, and there was a blood pressure reading that was high, right? Now, at the time, Dan was pregnant, and we had a toddler, right? Less than 1 year old, right? So they were saying that lack of sleep might cause blood pressure to spike, so we weren't paying it any mind. But I mean, long story short, in 2012, I got progressively more ill and just more pain. We eventually got the cancer diagnosis, and it was right around that time that we discovered that Danelle also had lupus.
What kind of cancer was it, by the way?
Well, it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
Right. And
no, but what is that?
Oh well, that's blood cancer. It's
okay.
lymphatic
right.
system, right? So
all over.
Yes, I actually had 7, from memory, about 7 visible tumors, right? And then by the time I was checked out by the doctors, I mean, what they said to us is, you have liver involvement, it's around your heart, it's in your kidney, I'm sure it's in your bone marrow. So basically, by the time we checked things out, it was advanced to the point where, the stage is at 4, right? So really, that story, so my belief that, Jesus Christ saved my soul, right, is central to my life, right? So the salvation that comes from Christ's death for all of us is really, it is the most important thing to me. So when I got that diagnosis, I have to look to the faith. And my conviction was that no was not the time. I believe that the Lord was saying that, be still and see the salvation of the Lord. Yep. So that, following that, we didn't immediately do chemotherapy. There was a long delay, and just praying and somebody reaching out to us to facilitate a trip to the States. But long story short, when we took the delay and got to NIH and did the protocol there, the same oncologist that had done the diagnostics here, I said to her, is it really a big difference in terms of the protocol they gave here and what we were looking at in Jamaica? And she said, Raul, it makes all the difference. So that's my story in a nutshell.
How did you find out that you had lupus?
Okay, so our daughter, we have 2 children. Our son was born 2011. Our daughter was born 2012. And right after she was born, I had a lot of joint pain, but that's usual for postpartum adjustments. Raul was also sick, as he said. He had been getting progressively worse from the start of the year, and we had a 1-year-old running around. So life was very stressful. So we thought that the pains I was experiencing was just par for the course. And then one day I woke up and I couldn't move. So that led to some blood tests and further tests, and we got the confirmation that it was lupus in July of 2012. And his diagnosis actually came, I think, a week after that. So we had a 1-year-old, a 2-month-old, and we were told that essentially we're about to die. So as Raul said, there was a lot of prayer. In just motivating people, I want persons to understand that everything that we've gone through and been able to get through has really been as a result of our dependence on the Lord.
But how did you feel, though? Because as you just said, you were told that when you're going dead.
Yeah.
What did that do for you? That must have been just mash you proper.
Proper mashup, yes. For me, because Raul had been sick, I was pregnant, we had a baby, so for me, I was like, okay, I just need to hold it down, support my family, get us through this. I heard that I was sick and I literally collapsed. I was sitting beside him, I dropped the phone and just collapsed in his lap and just a ball. I was like, God, how am I going to take care of my family if I'm not well?
You had no idea before that there was anything wrong with you?
Nope.
You weren't feeling any pain anywhere? You never feel
I just had a baby, so I had spent the previous 9 months in pains of all different kinds. So everything that was happening, we thought it was normal. His high blood pressure, we thought it was normal because we had 2 babies, we were waking up in the nights. Mm-hmm. So everything seemed to make sense until it didn't.
Yeah. Where are you now with lupus?
I am still living with lupus. I have gone through many iterations of the illness. So it's something that can affect any system in the body. I basically daily have joint pain, muscle pains, trouble moving. I've been hospitalized too many times to count. There was a year where every month I was in the hospital. I've had to have several surgeries. Kidney issues, mental health issues, skin issues. Thankfully, I've had a period of stability for about a year. So my last hospitalization was January of 2023. And so I really just take each day by the grace of God. I wake up, I don't know if I'm going to end up in the hospital or if I'm going to make it through the day, but we just go forward.
It's not something that can be cured?
Medically, no. The medical community does not know the cause of it and does not know a cure for it.
Why you say medically as opposed to?
Because I believe that the Lord is my healer. So I think I can be healed, but there's no...
Will be healed?
I believe I will be healed, yes. But there's no medical procedure to end lupus.
Is there a concern that your kids?
There's always. So once you go through something medically, there is possibly a genetic link. And again, we just have to trust the Lord. Have
you tested the youngsters?
No. So it's not something that you can do predictive tests, so to speak. We haven't.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Is there no
so
test to say
there are no. So there are some illnesses where you have genetic markers that if you do a blood test, you can say, okay, you're prone to this and that. I don't think we're there with lupus as yet.
Lupus is what exactly?
It's an autoimmune disease. So the immune system of the body helps the body to fight sicknesses, illnesses, and so on. With autoimmune diseases, your immune system is confused. So with lupus, it cannot tell the difference between a good organism and a bad organism in the body. So it attacks everything. So it's like your body is attacking its own cells.
Raul, I heard your story, but mentally, go on.
With which one?
There's so much.
Is it something that you think that might come back? Is it something that you spend time thinking about?
So, I mean, the truth is, I don't spend a lot of time, worrying about whether or not it's gonna come back. Partly because, and again, it comes back to faith, because the scriptures said, "Don't worry," because you can't add anything to your life by worrying, right? So that's a big part of it. But I mean,
it's just said and done, though.
So again, it's absolutely easier said than done, which is what I'm saying is that because another part of my walk, right, in terms of Christianity, is guaranteed failure. So you say easier said than done. Some days I'm not going to meet it. And I mean, actually this year, the blood pressure spike again, and I said, boy, I don't know, this journey is similar. I play some ball and I hurt my back. Which was similar to the whole lead up before. So, I just check it out and say to the Lord, boy, you must know.
When you think about what Danelle is going through, how tough is that for you?
I mean...
you feel almost guilty that you got rid of your thing, but she...
Well, it's the truth is, it is tough, right? It's tough to deal with. It's things that I don't understand.
Yeah, and Danelle, how do you ensure that he don't fret himself to death over you?
Well, I mean, I can't control his thoughts and so on. And the thing is, I have the diagnosis, I'm living with the illness, but it impacts him on a very deep level as well. There are things that he has to deal with as a result of this that I don't.
Yeah.
So I just have to try and support each other as best as we can.
Yeah.
We have amazing friends and family who come in and fill in the gaps and have literally held us up over the years, provided support with the children, finances.
Sorry to jump in again. I suspect the kids know what's going on. How are they dealing with all of this?
Boy, it's
Because
rough.
they're old enough to know.
Yes, and I mean, I got sick right after Zuri, my daughter, was born, so they've never known me healthy. So they don't have anything to compare it with, but they just know that at any given day, mommy can end up in the hospital.
As far as you know, are they concerned that they might get what mommy and daddy, well, what daddy had and what mommy has?
I'm not sure
think so.
if they've thought about it on that level. I think they're always concerned that something can happen to us again.
Why you wanted to share your story? Finally.
Because there have been many times in my own journey where I felt like, okay, this is the end, this is it. And the Lord has provided encouragement through other people or just making things happen. And hope really carries you far away in this
There
journey.
was a time you wanted to hurt yourself, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I've wanted to give up many times. But
Beautiful family.
hope in God.
Yeah, man. Great to see you, boy.
Beautiful.
Raul,
Respect, man.
love you, know you.
Yeah, man. Respect.
I love you.
Thank you.
Raul and Danelle Pinnock. Whew. Eh? Them know me ball along the place. You know. Second edition of News in 5. Right now. So